Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to wrap up a project I started back in August called 1 Month No Mirrors. And I will put the link to that video in the description below. I also kept up a blog during that period of time, and I will put the link to that as well if you're interested in hearing about the experience as it was going. But the goal of it was a body positivity challenge. It was for me mainly to have a better appreciation for my body in a physical sense. And of course, an after effect of that would be hopefully losing weight. But what I found to be true is that during this, the goal started out for me to feel better about, the way that I looked, but it was also internally as well. So I'll give a little synopsis about how that ended up going. When I first started, that first week I felt like it was really easy. I didn't miss it nearly as much as I had anticipated missing the mirror. Of course, I talk about the rules in it, about I can look at certain things in the mirror, but the goal was for me not to be focusing on my trouble spot, which is my stomach. So I started with that, and it was really easy, and I thought, oh, this is not going to be a big deal. But the truth was, I knew how I looked in certain clothes, and so those were the clothes that I wore the first week, the ones that I knew were okay. And then, as we moved forward a little bit, it started to get a little harder because I was a little nervous about how I looked in certain things. And there was one shirt that I had bought like a year and a half ago that I loved the way it felt. Like the material, I love the way it felt, but it seriously makes me look like a pumpkin. It's kind of an orange, but more pink, I guess, color. But it's the way that it's made. It kind of bunches at the bottom. It's not the best look. I don't think anybody could really look wonderful in it. But the point was, I loved the way it felt, and that's why I bought it, because I thought I could wear like a shirt under and it would be okay. So I've only worn it once, and I haven't worn it ever again because I felt like it made me look huge. But that was one of the shirts that I wore during the period of time, during the 1 month no mirrors challenge, because I wasn't looking in the mirror, so it didn't matter. And I loved the way it felt, no matter how it looked. So that was a positive. But as I went further on, I tried not to be paranoid. By the end of it, I was a little paranoid, but the goal was for me to be more positive about my body. And I found that to be very true. I started focusing on the things that I really liked. Since I wasn't looking in the mirror and I had no idea what I was looking like, I had to really focus on mentally how I felt, how I physically felt. Like I would touch my sides and certain parts like of my legs and things like that, things that I enjoyed about myself, and I was able to feel better about the way that I looked because of the things that I could appreciate about myself. So that, in the end of the 30 days, was a huge benefit. It was something that I was really was happy to develop because I never really paid attention to my body before in that way. I never looked in the mirror and was like, I don't like that, but I like that. It was, and weird to even say that because, like I said in the other video, I'm really positive about everything, and to not be positive about something as simple as myself is weird and kind of unfortunate. But anyway, so I was able to really feel better about myself. And then in week 3, actually, I had gotten some tea that I drink on and off, but pretty often, I would say. I hadn't had any in a few weeks, and I got it, and it was diet tea, and the reason I get that is because there's no sugar in it. And I thought, this is good. I need to continue on. And I didn't do anything differently physically or either exercise-wise, activity level. I didn't eat differently. I kept everything the same because I wanted to know at the end what the results were just from changing that one thing, not looking in the mirror. So I was drinking this tea, and this is a tea that I drink anyway, so it wasn't different. But I realized after a few days of drinking it, I was at work and I just felt bloated and heavy, whereas a few days prior, I had started like feeling thinner, and I was feeling really good about my body and everything. I was just in a really good place. But then this tea, I didn't realize it was tea at first. I was trying to analyze, what have I done differently? I've been feeling so well. But then I realized I had that the tea was the only different thing I had done in the past few days. And I wrote about that as well in the blog, but it turned out, so I stopped drinking the tea. And this is a tea that I had normally been really accustomed to. And suddenly, like that bloated feeling a day later went away after I stopped drinking it. And I have been drinking that tea for years. So this experiment also helped me be a little bit more self-aware about what was going on internally, as well as feeling good on the outside, which was a byproduct I didn't expect. But I was able for some reason to pay a lot more attention to what was going on inside, like when I would eat something, how I felt after I ate it or drank it, which is a good thing because I don't know why that had an effect. Not looking in the mirror, I don't know why that would have any effect on how me noticing things going on internally, because it's not like looking in the mirror at myself all day long. But anyway, however that happened, it did, and I started being able to notice things a little bit more. And the best part, though, well, not the best part, but a good part, is at the end of it, I weighed on the last day, or the day after it was over, rather, and I had lost 8 pounds. 8 pounds from when I started it. And like I said, I didn't do anything differently. So that was a pleasant surprise. So I was so motivated by the changes I experienced during the project that I have continued in a way. I still have the mirror blocked off to a certain point, and I think I want to keep it up there for a little while longer, and so I'll probably write more an update as that goes along. But I wanted to give a good overview of the positive effects that not focusing on things that I don't like about myself had at the end of the project. So if you have done something similar, or if you would like to participate and do it yourself and let me know how that goes, feel free to leave comments below if you have any questions, or if you'd like any tips or anything. I would love to hear from you. Just go ahead and say anything you want, and I'm going to update again as I continue this and see how well it goes as I continue on. So feel free to leave all the comments below, and I will see you again next time.